Hey guys, Darkovika here. My gosh, it's Vampire. It's been a while, I know. I have had the world's worst luck with recording stuff. I recorded stuff and like the audio didn't record, videos corrupted, my editing sucked. It's been a weird week. You may notice that my face cam is a bit dark. I would turn on my ring light, but I am actually having some really bad eye strain right now. So that kind of hurt to have it on. So that's probably going to be a no. Also, Sam is in the room. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. He's kind of being a bit of a butt right now. He doesn't, whenever, see, I've been at my computer for a while now. But I swear to you, he knows that I'm recording. And so he comes and just sits in front of me so that I can't see the screen. Anyways, I have unfortunately forgotten everybody's voices. I know I gave him kind of like a grungy, deep voice because he was Nosferatu and he was a gumshoe detective, which I'm excited about. But also, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So anyways, oh yeah, I figured out that you can make the text bigger. I had it set to big, but this literally filled up this entire box with big. So we're going to put it at this size. I think this is a good size. I like this size. And, yeah, let me know if you guys want me to do face cam in this. Not doing face cam for me is really weird. Also, I'm going to pop it over here because I'm looking this way and it's going to be weird if I'm looking off screen. But let me know if you even want me to do face cam because it's weird for me to not do face cam, but sometimes there's just no reason to do it. Like a visual novels. I don't know. Okay, let's dive in. So we have DAngelo here. We have just basically snuck up or tried to on this Nosferatu vampire dude bro with his Hawaiian shirt and his cigar. Maybe a good leap of faith is just what the doctor ordered. Let's see. Offer him a light. Do I even have a light? I don't smoke. Are you narrating? As he reaches into his pocket, you flash a lit lighter before his eyes. I guess I have a lighter. Or I just sort of drag that, can I? Nice. Or maybe you could use a healthy dose of unhealthy. For a split second, he gives you a puzzled look. Then he leans over to your lighter, puffing on the cig as it catches fire. A wry smile comes back to his lips. I like you, kid. You might look like a used car salesman, but there's just something about you. Tell you what. I was just about to head back to the crime scene, take a look around, refresh my notes. You can tag along if you want to. I could use an assistant. Someone to take notes and make wild assumptions for me to shoot down. Who knows? If you're any good, I might consider making this a long-term arrangement. So, you won't regret that. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sure it does, kid. I'm the one who said it. Just one more thing. Okay, come back. You still got me at a disadvantage here. Seems like you've done some digging on me, but with you, I've barely scratched the surface. You catch my drift? So answer me this. Who was it that sent you into my neck of the woods? Or, in layman's terms, who do you work for? I'm a free agent. Sophie Langley. He's a detective. I don't really have a reason to lie, right? Sophie Langley. For the first time since you got here, the Nosferatu adopts a look of genuine surprise. His eyes wander for a moment, finally giving way to a crooked smile. So you're the one, huh? Okay. Maybe I made the text a little too fast. I did also speed up the text. Normally I like that, but with this size, I don't think it's doing me any favors. Okay. So you're the one, huh? The fledgling the Toreador dame spared? Yeah, that would make sense. Don't think she'd appreciate you throwing her name around. Thanks for being up front, kid. One blink is enough for you to miss DAngelo vanishing from his chair. Just when you're about to look around, he appears right next to you, up close. His smile is even more unnerving. All right, moonlight's burning. Let's get cracking. With a certain fascination, you watch DAngelo stumble his way across West Brooklyn, oddly animated, incessantly scratching his face and neck, stopping every once in a while for a bout of mumbling narration. He is most certainly a sight to behold. Still, he seems to be getting around okay, and you take particular note of the fact that he seems to be choosing the darker, less frequented streets. There is definitely a method to his madness. Eventually, maybe this size doesn't work with, like, any sort of speed. I think the problem is that it just, I don't know. It's weird because it goes faster than I can read, even at that speed. So let me know. I mean, I can read this just fine. Let me know if you guys need it bigger. Eventually, your leprous guide takes a sudden turn off of Van Brunt Street and into a particularly dingy alleyway. The torn pieces of yellow police tape are a dead giveaway. This has to be the place. Well, here we are. Time for you to earn your stripes. This is where they found him. Drained dry, not a drop of blood in him. And before you ask, no, I didn't get to see the body, so I don't know if there were any bite marks. So, what can you tell me? You take a moment to examine the crime scene. Judging by the chalk outline on the pavement, the man was killed recently. Curiously, there doesn't appear to be a trace of blood or viscera, and you know the city's cleanup crew isn't that fast or that thorough. I do? How do I know that? Looking up, you notice a spray-painted sign on the wall. It reads, "The Blood Speaks," in big, crooked letters. You look at DAngelo. The Nosferatu gives you an expecting look. How come there's no blood? Did you say the victim was drained dry? Did you say the victim was drained dry? Because I don't see a trace of blood anywhere. Good eye, kid. It's the details that count. And given that the murder was committed right here and the victim didn't make a sound, we can therefore conclude that the killer was kindred. The killer was kindred. Bingo. Only a kindred could drain a human this quickly, this quietly. But not just any kindred. Take a look at that graffiti. What do you think it means? It seems desperate. It's meant to throw us off. Seems desperate? It seems desperate. My thoughts exactly. Oh, good, because I just made a guess there. It's as if someone wanted to get a message across, but was too scared to stick around and write the whole damn book. So we got the abridged version. I think I'm actually, doing a pretty good gumshoe detective right now. Tell me, if you were to guess, which clan would you say our killer belongs to? The Blood Speaks. Thin Bloods. The Blood Speaks kind of sounds like a Malkavian kind of thing to say, but also thin... I don't know about Tremere. That's a little weird. I don't think it's Tremere. Thin Bloods? Kind of. Because Thin Bloods are a thing. Maybe it's a Malkavian serial killer. They're pretty nuts, right? Nah, kid. I was wrong with that one. I think it was the Thin Bloods. The Moonies can be a bit playful, but there's a method to their madness. It leaves a certain aftertaste. This right here, it just reeks of desperation. I might be jumping to conclusions, but my money's on the Thin Bloods. Here is our entry on oh god. Vampires with blood so diluted they retain many human traits. The Thin Bloods are invariably clanless. Survivors of the last decade of pogroms, prejudice, and ostracization, their numbers now swell. Their messy street alchemy and ability to pass as human makes them uniquely suited to thrive outside kindred society and make their own fate in the postmodern nights. The thin-blooded can be of any mortal origin and are not affected by their parent clan's curse, nor by their preferences in the same degree as their sire. In 2009, the Inner Circle of the Camarilla issued an edict that all thin-blooded must be branded or tattooed with the mark of the crescent moon. Inked by a Tremere tattoo artist or scorched with a beam of sunlight, the brand is irreversible. Many kindreds still view the Thin Bloods as a threat to the masquerade, weaklings, runoffs, abortions. Oh my, and will destroy them if given the chance. Those who don't despise Thin Bloods tend to call them the Young Ones, Chameleons, or Duskborns. Interesting, I wonder if they can go out in sunlight. He pauses, spits out the mangled remains of a cigar. Shit, looks like we're gonna have to pay Larson a visit. The Thin Blood Primogen? Larson, the Thin Blood Primogen? No, Lyson, the bicycle repairman. Course the Thin Blood fucking Primogen. Not sure if he knows who the killer is, but he could probably make an educated guess. In any case, we'd be doing him a favor. If it turns out one of his is violating the masquerade, it would put him in a hell of an awkward position. And I mean shitting upside down awkward. That is pretty awkward. It's the kind of weakness the other Primogen would love to exploit. His position in the council is bad as it is. He pauses for a moment and mumbles to himself, but it's too quiet for you to make out. Finally, he lights up a fresh cigar. He takes a puff and lets the smoke escape through his crooked smile. All right, kid, let's get this over with. Compared to the industrial ugliness of Red Hook, Sterling Place is quite a change of scenery. The heavily gentrified and pleasantly dull residential area emanates the sort of peaceful apathy that rich hipsters scoff at and blue-collar workers dream of. All of a sudden, the Nosferatu stops. It almost seems like he was taking a deep breath, steeling himself for things to come. This is the place. With that, he points to a surprisingly nice-looking two-story house. The place is almost completely dark. Almost. You notice a dim light shining through the curtains of an upper-story window. It's probably safe to assume that the head of the family is working late, especially if the head of the family happens to be a vampire. Okay, kid, we gotta be gentle about this. I'm talking velvet gloves, soft cushions, you rang, my lord, gentle. We need to get Larson out here without making a fuss or letting his family see us. If we blow this, he'll shut down like a speakeasy on raid night. Trust me, I know. Sounds like you two have some history. Okay, that's not what I wanted to say, but I said this one. Let's get to it. Right you are. Tell you what, how about you take the lead on this one? I'm sorry, what? I'm curious to see how you handle it. You take a step back and look around the area. The lit-up window seems like a safe bet. Now it's just a matter of getting Larson's attention. His, and no one else's. As you're trying to come up with a viable strategy, you are suddenly startled by a loud noise. It takes you a second to identify the sound as a dog's barking. It doesn't take you long to figure out where it came from, as a bearded man leading a Rottweiler on a leash comes into view. Feeding opportunity. A man walking his dog. Is that a feeding opportunity? This seems dangerous. What if the dog goes nuts? I'm like thirsty. But I mean like I'm with company. As you turn towards the man with the dog, DAngelo gives you a worried look. Kid? Shushing him with a gesture, you plunge into the shadows and crouch behind a well-trimmed hedge. True to his word, DAngelo follows your lead, though he doesn't seem too happy about it. You best not be thinking what I think you're thinking. Oh no, I think I messed up. You tense up, waiting for the man to get closer. When he does, you spring from the darkness, grabbing both of his arms and sinking your teeth into his neck. But there's a dog. Oh, I shouldn't have done this. I made a horrible mistake. I was hungry. Oh no. Oh no, I messed up. Thick with surprise and laced with just enough fear, it's also quick yet sublime. His best friend does not. The dog goes off on a barking spree. You tear away from your victim, ready to let the beast loose on the hapless canine. DAngelo, however, is quick to curtail your murderous appetite. The detective approaches the animal, looking it straight in the eyes. He mumbles something under his breath, an oddly melodic whisper. Mesmerized by the chant, the dog grows quiet and lays on his back, allowing DAngelo to pat its belly. Suddenly you notice the light turning on in some of the houses. DAngelo gives you an angry look and points to the unconscious man in your arms. Get him out of sight, now! Heeding his advice, you hoist the man over your shoulder and carry him to the nearest bush. I totally messed this up. I was anxious. I kept thinking about how I haven't eaten in a while. Doesn't seem happy to see him. Are you fucking insane? I mean, I know you are, but this is nuts, even by your standards, DAngelo. I mean, hey, I got him outside. Can we say that I, messed up? Because I got him outside. You glance over to DAngelo. He looks somewhat embarrassed, scratching the back of his neck, clearly trying to find the right angle to play this. Sorry, we need to get your attention. Yeah, I totally planned this. I planned all of it. Hey, Larson, sorry about the fuss, but we needed to get your attention. By feeding right next to my house? What the hell is wrong with you? Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. I don't know. I think I screwed the pooch on this one. I'm trying to figure out how to fix this. Relax. I didn't bleed him dry. Relax. I didn't bleed him dry, unlike your friend at Red Hook. Is that supposed to mean anything to me? DAngelo, what's going on here? It's about the Red Hook murders. We think one of yours is responsible. Bullshit. A Duskborn's got enough trouble staying alive out here. What could possibly make them only openly violate the Masquerade? He doesn't have a voice yet. Desperation. The killer's been leaving messages. Whoever they are, I think they know something. Something they can't share with just anyone. I know it seems far-fetched, but it's the only way this puzzle fits together. Nah, I don't buy it. You're reaching. Trying to find a scapegoat. Getting your boss's good graces. Word gets around, DAngelo. You think I don't know who you're working for? Then help us clear your name. Then help us clear your people's name. What have you got to lose? Everything. I've been a thorn in the council's side for a while now. This is just the excuse they need to get rid of me. What if it turns out one of yours did do it? And you sat on your hands to protect him. You think the council won't jump on that? He looks off into the darkness, pondering his options. He lets out a heavy sigh. Look, I'll ask around, consult my sources. If it turns out one of my own is responsible, they will face justice. In the meantime, keep your deductions to yourself. I have enough trouble as it is. Deal. Good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my family. And with that, Larson retreats to the elusive safety of his home. He decided it's best to move along. I still think I screwed the pooch on that one, but I'll take it. That's a success, right? You walk a couple blocks in utter silence. Even DAngelo's mumbling seems to have taken a back seat. Oddly enough, you find his newfound reticence somewhat unnerving. Finally, the Nosferatu stops and turns towards you. Hell of a night. I don't know about you, kid, but I sure could use a drink. Something warm in a tall, sweaty glass. But first, let me tally your score. Let's see now. You did make a good first impression. I like someone who can talk themselves out of a tight spot. Talking's cheap. Bullets? Not so much. You held your own at the crime scene. Nothing I hadn't figured out on my own, but hey, we can't all be professionals. Finally, when the situation called for subtlety, you managed to avoid unwanted attention. Discretion is what separates a private dick from just any old dick. All in all, you did fine. Not fine, but not bad for your first case. Don't let it get to your head. I'll be in touch. Let you know if I hear from Larson. Be ready to meet me at the office. He starts to walk away, but suddenly stops and turns back towards you. And bring a notepad. Every good assistant should have one. I didn't screw the pooch! Boom! So that's how that saying goes, right? Like, I'm not just being weird. All right, cool. I'm just pleased that I did not screw that up. Oh, man. How close are we? Oh, I need to rest. Okay. Let's go rest. You notice something strange by the front door of your haven. There's a letter slipped under the door in a cream-colored, old-fashioned envelope. There's no name on it, but you know it's meant for you. Hey, all I care about is the fact that I ain't gonna die of starvation. Opening the letter, it's clear it's been sent by someone incredibly old-fashioned, rich, or a fan of classic stationery. No normal person sends letters like this. The note is small and terse, written in elegant, delicate handwriting. You're cordially invited to a rendezvous at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. I'll be waiting to make your acquaintance tomorrow night. Look for me closer to God. There is no other information. It looks like you have a mysterious invitation for the following night. Okay, so I think that... Oh dear. What's this? Faith and myth. You've received an invitation to meet a mysterious someone at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. It's been a while since you heard from DAngelo. It's been 24 hours. Maybe he's busy, sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. Or maybe he's pissed off the wrong people and is now rotting in a ditch somewhere. I mean, like, I want to keep talking to him. Do these go away over time? Because I don't want them to. But I really want to check this one out because, I mean, mysterious letter under my door. Like, hello, that's kind of interesting. One thing that makes me really nervous is that I cannot save manually in this game. And that makes me so nervous. I hate it. I just... Like, if I make decisions, they're just... Also, if a recording goes wrong, that's it. That's what you're getting. Like, I'm gonna have to just fill you in or something. But, like, yeah, it makes me nervous. I guess we'll go do Faith and Myth Part 1. You haven't been to a church since you became a vampire. I mean, it has only been, like, a week, so... Or kindred, as the euphemism goes. You've had to focus on concrete, practical things like survival and feeding. Gumshoe Detective Nosferatu. You've learned the essentials of the vampire experience, but you don't really have a clear idea of what it all means. The Cathedral of St. John looks hella rad. What kind of streetlight is this? The Cathedral of St. John the Divine is a New York landmark. You've been inside once before when you were much younger. You marveled at its Gothic facade. Looking at it now from across the street, it feels ominous. The prospect of an anonymous invitation to a secret meeting is a worrying one, but the venue is well chosen. It's hard to imagine a violent attack at a place like this, with eyes everywhere. You enter the cathedral discreetly. You've quickly learned this is an essential skill for a vampire, how to move without anyone noticing you. The full force of the cathedral's architecture hits you as you walk between the pews. If the architect meant to create the feeling of being small in the face of God's glory, mission accomplished. Based on the note, you're assuming that whoever you're meeting is somewhere in the front. As you step closer to the high altar, it feels as if something is dragging at your feet, as if the stone beneath you resisted your movement. Does God still listen to you? It's been a long time since you prayed. You wonder whether God listens to creatures like you. Fatalistically, you take a step, then another. You're not sure if your God is present in this cathedral, but perhaps it doesn't matter. What you feel is real enough. There is an old man sitting in the front. You see only the back of his head, bowed down in silent prayer. Your footsteps echo on the floor and he turns to look at you. You can't take your eyes off him. He's tall, dignified, white hair balding, a few strands escaping to the sides. He's wearing glasses and simple clerical clothing. His eyes are warm and pale. Too kind for someone like you. Something is wrong. You feel heavy, as if a giant hand was pressing you down. Ah, no, I'm gonna die. The skin on your face is burning. Perhaps unconsciously you expected something like this as a vampire walking into a cathedral. Only it's not the building or God making you feel like you're burning alive. It's the man, the priest. Welcome, my child. The priest's tone is kind, but the rising panic inside is telling you that kindness is not for the likes of you. I'm freaking dying. Oh my god. This is what I'm talking about. Like, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna die? For the priest. The only way to understand these painful feelings is to push forward and confront the priest. As you step closer to the priest, panic rises inside you. The emotions are hard to control. Fear, anger, pain, all trying to wrestle you in different directions. Away. Can I help you? Are you okay? The priest talks to you like he would a lost vagrant who has chosen to enter the house of God. How are you doing this? I'm afraid I don't understand. It's simply too much. You mutter something incoherent in reply. You don't sound like a vampire, an undead being made powerful by immortal blood. You're just another sad, confused, lost soul. You turn around and stagger away, only feeling like yourself once you're back on the street outside. You stand on the sidewalk, confused and scared. No enemies seem to be attacking you. The priest didn't follow you. The night air is wet with the smells of the city, the same as every night. How did it feel? You look at the man speaking to you. He's well-dressed, if a little archaic, dark-haired, handsome like a character from an old movie. He smiles as if he knows something you don't. You glance around. There are people on the street. You don't appear to be in immediate danger. Why does it hurt? I'm just curious. Why does it hurt so much? That's the question I wanted to talk to you about. Let me introduce myself. My name is Benoit Segal. We share many things in common, even if you don't know me. Benoit offers his hands to you. I'm assuming it's Benoit. You shake hands. I don't know. I'll just play along for now. Benoit's handshake is firm and dry. He looks at you intently, as if trying to find something in your eyes. Would you mind sitting with me for a moment? Benoit points to a park bench nearby, in darkness because of a broken streetlight. Wary, you decide to follow him. Only an enemy totally unconcerned with the masquerade would attack you here. Benoit sits down and you follow suit. For a moment, you both contemplate the cathedral in silence. I know how it feels, what you just felt. I have experienced it myself many times. For a moment, you consider how to respond. It's clear Benoit sent the invitation to come here and orchestrated this little setup. Why did you invite me? What's the point? Why did you go to the trouble of getting me here? To share a connection. We share a connection, you and I. I'll explain it later, but right now the important thing is that it's so much easier to show than to tell. Everybody smokes in this. I wanted you to meet Father Anthony, or see him, experience him. Did you wonder why it felt like that? Is it a supernatural power? Was it some kind of supernatural power? No, not at all. I don't think so. It's his faith that makes you feel like that. He's safe in his belief that you are one of the damned. Do you ever wonder what's the role of a vampire in God's creation? You stop to think. Of course you've wondered what this is all about. Whether it's about God or nature, you don't really know what being a vampire means. That's the trouble with the masquerade. A human faced with a human problem can go online and find something that helps. You can't. The masquerade means that everything there is to know about your condition is secret, hidden away. You're left relying on the unreliable opinions of people like Benoit. Suddenly Benoit takes your hand and presses it against his chest. As he stares into your eyes, you feel his heart stop. Wait, what? Does that mean he can make it beat? Wait, what? You feel his heart stop. I guess so, right? Yeah, I guess so. My heart no longer beats, yet I move, I talk. Is that how God intended us to be? Let me go. There's a natural explanation. Whoa, I don't believe in the supernatural. There's a natural explanation for all of this. We just don't know it. Maybe there is. I don't know either. But I know that Father Anthony's faith is real. Sometimes I'm skeptical too. But in Father Anthony's presence, I know faith is real. I know it because it hurts so much. But perhaps you have questions about faith and our kind. What are we? There is the usual story, which most of us believed, especially before modern times. Cain was the first murderer. As punishment, God cursed him to walk in darkness and carry his mark. Cool. We get the mythical explanation of things, or not necessarily, but you get what I mean. A mythical figure considered to be the first and most powerful vampire. Some vampires refer to themselves as Cainites, members of the race of Cain. For those of you not versed in the Bible, which I'm not either, so this could potentially go poorly. I'm not, like, very good at whatever. Cain and Abel were two brothers, and Abel was a farmer, I think. He was very good at what he did, and Cain became very jealous of God showering praise on Abel, and so Cain killed him, and then in his guilt buried Abel in his farmlands, and God, because God is God, was like, yo, I know what you did. Why did you do that? And Cain was like, I'm sorry. And God was like, fam, that's not okay. I have to curse you now because you have to have punishment. So Cain basically is forced to walk the earth for all eternity. He cannot eat or drink, and I believe he can't farm either. He can't grow anything. He can't do anything. It's just sort of like an immortal suffering type thing. That was an extremely basic rundown of that story. It has been a very long time since I read it, so take that with a massive pile of salt. Unless this guy's about to just explain the whole story, and then that was pointless. Cain passed on his curse as he drank the blood of the living, and thus we were born. God's curse passed on to someone new with each embrace. Maybe it's true. We all have our lineages, our sires and the sires of our sires. If you trace those lineages all the way to the top, you find Cain, the original vampire. I suppose God is cruel. The curse perpetuates itself, leading to new evils. This is a lot to take in. All these myths, hard to know what to believe. I know it's overwhelming. It was for me when I first met Father Anthony. I know there are others like him, whose faith shines like a beacon. Priests, old ladies, children, anyone can have that conviction inside them. Should I make her religious? I want her to be a good person. I want her to be like... But I also like this guy, and I don't want to just be like... Screw you, I'm out of here. But I also don't want to make her like just a zealot yet. This is too much. You expect me to go along with all this insanity. Benoit nods patiently. Let's meet again in a few nights, here at the cathedral. We can talk more after you've thought it through. You leave Benoit sitting in the shadow of the cathedral, contemplating what lies within. It would be easier to ignore his words without the reality of what you experienced. Father Anthony was holy. You know it to be true. But what does that mean? That's kind of cool. Hey, that only took half the night. So I could click something else. I like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you so much for being patient with me while I'm figuring stuff out. It really just has been a very strange couple of weeks of attempting to record stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, which I will probably record not right now because it's late. So, bye.